Hey Libra friends, it's Dharma here to do another tarot spread for you. This is going to be tarot, channeling, Lenormand, intuition, fairies. I'm using my new deck to start out with. This is the Hush Tarot. I'm just absolutely obsessed with this deck. I just got it. And so this is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever in your chart, however it resonates for you. And it's for cross watchers too. So I do zodiac stories, which means that I tell this whole thing like it's coming out as a story, and it's going to be strewn with different messages throughout. Okay, so calling in guides, angels, anyone from the highest good for our Libra tribe for about 7 days from whenever they watch this, please. What do we have coming out for Libras? Libra. Ooh, the message doesn't want her to be patient. Patience. I feel like something's coming, like we know it's coming, and that we need patience. Six of Swords. You know what I'm seeing in this, right? She's in the boat unhappily. Like, that does not look like a happy face to be in that boat. And she is getting ready to go. But she's like leaving without her other half, right? And she's just going to use the help of her, you know, this is Pisces, right? All these fish, we're leaving Pisces season, but she feels like she's leaving the season or whatever without her other half. And is reluctant to go. Willing to, obviously, because she's in the stupid boat, but she's not like it would not have been her choice to do it that way. She's working with what she's got, which is intuition and a spiritual team of, you know, whatever, familiars perhaps. And she has a boat that will at least keep her out of the water so that she can, you know, float across. But this is the Six of Swords. It talks about moving on, moving forward. But she don't want to. She doesn't want to. I don't know where I want this to go yet. She flat out, plain and simple, doesn't want to go. I heard it feels wrong. But then you have the Magician, right? This particular Magician, feminine, she found her familiar. We were talking about familiars here, right? And it's like at one point or another she found her familiar. But when she found him, okay, let's see if I can get that to refocus. When she found him, he was injured. I don't know if you can you see the three swords in his back? And I just want to be like something, because here I just heard the word spooked. Something spooked him and he took off and ran away, right? And it was like, that's what I was saying, her other half, she found it already. And it's like when it's time to move on, it's time to go. But it's almost like when your dog runs away, you know, and you wait for it to come back, but it like doesn't. So you have to basically leave without it. And that right there is the Two of Swords. That's potentially having to make that decision. And again, it's reluctance. She doesn't want to do that. It was something that she had manifested. It was supposed to work out for the long haul. But she's having to make the decision to move forward, right? Away from an old manifestation, an old dream, something that seemed perfect for her. And now she's moving forward. Queen of Pentacles. Here comes the bride. Wow, that is a beautiful card. I just heard the word marriage material, This particular feminine is the epitome of, I heard, what is needed, the final piece. It's the stability. But again, she's by herself in this with just animal familiars. This might even be moving away from someone that you thought that you were going to marry. Or that you were married to. And Ace of Pentacles and the King of Swords. There he is, the King of Swords. But this feels like these came out together, right? But this feels crazy. Like it just pops in from out of nowhere. And it feels frantic, right? This is a gentle, you know, cooing whatever. And this one is, it's frantic. But this here is the King of Swords. So we have the King of Swords moving to the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is marriage material, essentially. And right, and so what does a rooster do? If we talk about rooster medicine, what is their job? Right? They essentially plant seeds, am I right? That's what they do. But this is, I want to be like, it was almost too freaking late. It was almost too late. It was almost like, I just want to keep being like, why now? I feel nervous about it, I guess. And maybe it's because of the frantic way that this person is coming in. I heard throwing themselves at you. Like, I'm here now. Let's do this. I keep touching the cards to get the energy from them too. Plus the arrangement's driving me nuts. They just, and I see, it's like, what the fuck? Because you have the Magician over here and the Ace of Pentacles over here. It's like, this is what was manifested, the Ace of Pentacles. But what we were thinking it was going to be was this nice, gentle whatever. And what ends up happening is this, like, right at the last minute, they just, you know, they just show up. Let's get some Lenormand on this. Because that's the King of Swords. And I don't... It's almost like... It almost feels like a really important decision. Okay? Because we didn't talk much about the Two of Swords. Her eyes are closed. She's going within. It's almost like... You know how on the Game of Thrones... when the Raven, what was his name? The one that ended up being king at the end. The brother in the wheelchair. When he goes to visit with the Ravens, who are his familiars, his eyes roll back in his head. Like, it's a very, very, very conscious, whatever. It's like this one here is seeking so hard to figure out whether or not it's gonna, it's the most reluctance I've ever felt in my entire life. It's like some part of her is there's something around, or some part of her that's saying that you need to move on. But then there's like, it's like from the depths of her soul. Like when a magician finds their familiar, or when a witch finds their familiar. Or like when you know how like dragon riders, the dragon... you get like a piece of their heart or something, and only that particular rider can ride that dragon. It would be the feeling of leaving that behind. And it's freaking reluctance. Wow. The diamond ring I just lost my freaking breath. And look, there she is in a wedding dress. This King of Swords, and it fell out just right there on top of that King of Swords. And they're coming to, they're the ones in the mood. She's just standing there. She's the rock. She's the Queen of Pentacles. And they just, and I can't decide where the reluctance is, right? Because it's almost like she was waiting for this. She knew it was coming. For some of you, that's what it was. Like, you knew that that it was wrong to be in this boat. You knew that it was wrong to be moving on because it was without your other half. And perhaps that is your other half. And then it just, yeah, light bulb. And then you have the Archer. And then I heard marriage material again. It's almost like this King of Swords here gets it and wants to like dominate the situation, because you also have the Archer that talks about doing it quickly, but it's a matchmaker. They know exactly what they're doing. Wow. And I just looked down and I saw the bouquet and the letter. You see why the reluctance was there? She knew that they were coming back. The bouquet is reconciliation. It's a peace offering. I just heard Wednesday. I also want to talk about forgiveness. There goes my dogs. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and do an extended on this. He's going to bark the entire time. I'm going to unpack all of this. I'm going to pull a clarifier on each of those. But basically, long story short, this is like an out of nowhere reconciliation with the King of Swords. So if you would like to follow along, the link for the extended is in the box below. It takes you to Vimeo. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye, Leaves.